or Jess and Mark teach you how to jam. So I thought, you know, who are we? Oh, no.
Point it over here. Point it at the computer.
Nope.
I turn pages now. I am the remote.
Thanks, Jim. All right, so that's us. I'm Jess. I am actually a middle school music teacher up in Massachusetts. And I like playing jazz. I play a bunch of BGM with a couple of bands, Tournament Art, Full Combo, Smoochy Face, and I also help edit for VGLeadSheets.com.
I'm Mark. I also help edit for VGLeadSheets.com, but I'm not as good.
But who are you? So please raise your hand if you have played your instrument for at least a year. Oh, all right, just about everybody. Awesome. How many of you just started a new instrument? All right, some. How many of you know all your major scales? Half, okay. How many of you have played in any kind of large or small group before, like more than just like yourself in your basement? Okay, some of us. How many of you can spell an A-flat major chord? Half, maybe? How many of you have memorized the Dolphin Shoal solo? Good. All right, so you're in the right place.
Were we going to kick you out if you had?
Yep, okay. That's the plan. You are in the right place. So today, we're going to cover a couple of different topics, and you can decide if this sounds right to you for what you were looking for today. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about keeping time or keeping a groove without any instruments. The second thing we're going to talk about is keeping the form, still with no instruments. Then playing as a group, where you guys are going to get out your yay instruments. And then intro to improv, yay instruments! So if you brought an instrument with you today, that's really awesome. If you didn't, we have some available up here that you can rotate through. So just real quick, who over here is like a melody instrument player? Like flute, clarinet, trumpet, trombone, saxophone. We got a couple of those. All right, how many of you guys are guitarists? All right, cool. We can totally rotate you guys in. Bassists. We can rotate that in as well. Keyboard. Awesome. Drums. Oh, guys, we got like a really good mix here. This is awesome.
I like it.
Well done. Yes.
Good organization. Among myself somehow.
Yeah. All right. Nope.
Sorry.
That's all right. All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about is keeping time or keeping a groove. Some people have different ideas of what jam sessions are. For some people, a jam session is like you walk in with whatever instrument is like around, and like some people might be playing some stuff, and so you just like play whatever you feel like according to what they feel like. That's a valid way to jam. This is applicable to that situation, but it's also applicable to the situation you find yourself in a lot in jam clinic, where there's a tune-up on the board and everybody's kind of playing the same tune, and you're trying to join in and like all play a tune together. If you don't keep time as a group, you don't have a tune anymore, regardless of what kind of jam you're doing. So first thing I want everybody to do is I am gonna click off a tempo, and I want everybody to tap your foot along with the tempo. And even after I stop snapping, I want you to keep it going. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, tap your foot. Make it a little bit loud. Keep it going. Don't be shy. One, two, ready, stop. Very good, guys. Very nice. Yes, first jam. First unofficial jam. It's a basic jam, but it's a jam nonetheless. You have begun to jam, beginner jams. You're in the right place. Congratulations. All right, so when we were doing it, there's something I expected to happen that didn't happen, which is really great. I expected, in part because I teach middle school, that everybody was going to go. Right? I expected we were going to rush, and you guys didn't do that. Tell me how you kept that from happening, please. What was going through your mind? Counting? Yeah?
Subdividing.
Subdivide. Awesome. Can you explain to us what subdividing is?
You take, basically you take a certain measure of time where there's a beat, and you break it up into a hash. And it might, if the beat's going 1, 2, you might go 1 and 2, and or you break it down even further if you want to get that
Beautiful explanation. Yes, so you can subdivide. You can think of the beat in 2 parts or in 4 parts, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. Sometimes the smaller you subdivide, the more accurate you get. But it's always a good idea to at least count the ands, the upbeats. Fabulous. All right. You ready to get a little bit more complicated? Yeah. All right. So here we go. We're gonna have our phone. We're gonna count out loud, and I'm gonna talk at you. I'm gonna add things. Keep doing what you're doing and start doing the things we're adding in. Okay? So here we go. Start with tap your foot. 1, 2. Tap your foot. 4. Let's count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You guys are doing great. 2, 3. Let's slap our knee on 2 and 4. Ready? And we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Excellent. You guys are doing great. Can you get the other hand going? In like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, ready, start. Excellent. All right, I saw a couple of people's brain like just split directly in half when I asked them to do that. So take a second. Let's take 30 seconds right now. I want you to figure out how it's going to work for your hands and your feet. For you to have one hand going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and the other hand going 2, 4, 2, 4, and your foot on every. All right, take 30 seconds at your own pace at your own tempo. Go ahead.
After this, you are all fully certified drummers.
Ready, stop. Congratulations, any of you can go play drum set right now. Well done, well done. All right, so here's what we're gonna try. We all kind of keep time like that. And we'll say every like 4 bars, you can add your own kind of fill. Now some of you might be going, all right, that sounds like improv, that's terrifying. So here's what we're gonna do. A fill can be literally anything. A fill can be like, you can start off 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. But like that can be a fill, and that's fine. All right, or you can do like 1 and a 2 and a 3, 4. It can be as complex or as simple as you want it to be. If you are stumped on what to do, start with the quarter. Start with 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna do it a couple of times, because everybody's gonna add a fill every 4 bars. I wanted to like go around the room, but there was like a lot of you, which is awesome. I'm so excited about that. So we'll start with like, everybody's gonna add their own fill every 4 bars. And our goal is to keep that tempo going the whole time. I don't want us to speed up. I don't want us to slow down. Ready? Every 4 bars we'll add a fill. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go, we go. 1, 2, 4, second bar. Third bar, you ready? Here's the fill. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, back to the normal, 2, 3. And your fill, go. Normal. Here's your fill. Yeah, there it is. Let's do one more. Here it is. Yeah, 1, 2, ready, stop. Excellent, guys. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, brush off a little bit, brush off. Yes, you're working hard. Excellent. All right, let's see. Let's go to the next slide. So what you guys were starting to do was you were starting to keep the form. Could everybody kind of tell when like bar 4 was coming up even without me saying it? Yeah? And you could tell when it was time to go back to normal even without me saying it? Most of us? All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to listen to Costa Del Sol. And does anybody not know this tune? Okay, cool. Let's just like give a plain old listen. Don't worry about listening for anything in particular. Let's just get it in our heads. Cheesy dancing optional. know how to ChaCha?
I got
Find me after. I've not had anybody to dance with all weekend. All right, so what we're gonna do for this is we're gonna use our same kind of concept. If you're like, oh man, like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and it's kind of fast, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I want you to kind of groove along to it. If you feel good about your fill capabilities every 4 bars or so, go ahead and add it. Right? If you're like, that sounds terrifying, don't do it. Do it when you're ready. Let's start from the beginning again.
Yeah, I can't actually rewind on this because it pops up the controls for the monitor. So
Oh, that's
hold
the
on
worst.
Just a second. Groovy. Yes. All right. Very nice. All right. Now I'm gonna make you think a little more. So, how are we feeling so far? Give me like scale of like 1 to 5. 5 being like I feel great, ready for more. 1 is like ah. All right. I'm seeing an average of like maybe a 3.5 or 4. So here's the deal. I'm gonna give a couple of different sets of directions according to how you feel. I want you to follow one of those steps. Okay. So if you are still like then what I want you to do is still focus on just keeping time, get that groove going. You do not have to do 1 and 2 and 3. You can do 1, 2, 3, 4. All right? If you're feeling good, here's what I want you to do. We're gonna keep with that groove. You can add your fill every 8, and after every 8 bars on B1, I want everybody to clap over their head. So I know that you know where we are. All right? If you're not feeling good, keep time. If you're feeling good, I want you to add that fill and clap over your head after every 8 bars. All right? Ready? Here's bar 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Add your fill. Yeah, there it is. 3. I'll help you for a couple. 5, 6, 7. Back to 12. Yeah, there it is. I'm not helping you. You don't need me. Beautiful, yes, well done, well done. All right, very good. You guys are ready for this. This is awesome. So now that we've done this, why do you think what we do, like, why did I have you do what we just did? Read my mind, please. Why is that kind of an exercise useful?
Keeping time is very important.
You need to do it or else everyone gets lost.
Yeah, you don't want anybody to get lost. Yeah. All right. When you're jamming, whose job is it to keep time? Everyone. Whose job is it to keep the form? Everyone. But especially you bass players. But everyone. Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
Fabulous. You guys are moving right through this stuff. What I would like to do is to take any quick questions about what we just did now, and then we'll get instruments. Quick questions about the stuff we just did. Keeping time, keeping the form, keeping the groove, adding the fill. Yeah?
If you can't manage 1/8 and 1/4 and 1/2,
Don't be a drummer. If you can manage the quarter, I'm happy. Yeah. Other questions? Fabulous. All right, so we've had people join. So really quickly, let me just take another quick, who's here? Melody players, monophonic instruments, people who play one note at a time on kind of wind thing or a string thing. All right. Without playing, sorry, I'm a middle school teacher. I have to be really specific about that. Without playing, please grab your instruments and come on up and line up in front of this monitor here. It's okay if you're not lined up in a mic. How many guitarists do we have? One. Raise them high, please. Let me count you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Ooh, okay. All right. We have 2 guitars up there. Did anybody bring their own guitar with them too? Awesome. Dear, do we have space for?
We can stick them in DIs.
We
Got
can
2
okay.
DIs up front.
Cool. So,
Something.
what's that? What do you want to do? All right, so you can do one thing. We'll try and rotate you through. Just pick one thing to start. Harmonica, excellent. All right, so my friend with the guitar of your own, you can come on in. There are some DI boxes that you can plug yourself into. Can I have 2 volunteers of guitar players? Other guitar players? 1, 2, beautiful. Come on up. Bassist, who's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4.5. All right. So bassist. Oh man, I wish we could have more than one bass at a time. Do I have somebody who wants to go first? Hey! Let's see. And keyboard players, we got 2. Let's see, how many keyboard players do I have?
Trombone, you cooler than treble clef? You prefer
I
bass
got
clef?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5. All right. Do I have 2 volunteers to go first?
So we got a B flat instrument, we got an E flat instrument, we got a bass clef instrument, we got a C instrument, and 1 monitor.
I can read bass clef.
And
bass
the
clef.
percussionist?
Okay. Flute, this is going to sound kind of weird, but please turn around and we'll put a C
Do I have
sheet up
anybody
there.
who is like
And
I
then
want
we'll
a
put
drum set specifically?
A B
Yeah?
flat and
All right, we'll rotate you guys through. Is there anybody who wants to go first? Yeah, come on. Looking around. No, come on up. Yes, yes, yes. And then there are 2 people who want to hop on auxiliary percussion. 1, come on up. And 2, come on up. Excellent. Yeah? Oh, man. Where does voice go?
I don't know if those are.
Also that question, let me,
I think I lose
if we're doing
individual
a
control if
song
that
with
happens.
voice,
We might just have to rip it. There's
awesome.
a DI box
I
over there,
didn't pick any
up front.
songs with voice for this in particular.
That's right behind the monitor that says Mix 1, right there.
All right. Anything unaccounted for? We got
Hold
stuff
on,
for
we got
everybody?
DIs
All right. So
plugged
we
in.
got a B flat sheet and a bass sheet. Oh, we're trying to find.
Just make a little noise on DI1 there.
I have my laptop with me too, so if we need like a
Oh,
tablet.
nothing's happening, huh?
Jess, I'm the only flat that can do bass clef.
Oh yeah, perfect. Perfect. All right. So right now we're gonna put up marbles on what you
That sounds good.
we're like filtering in, and we're gonna play through it. Nothing fancy. I want us to just go through the form twice.
Can I do stuff?
I think it's with a C for
Awesome.
Yeah, go for it.
Can we put another C sheet on the other side?
Another C sheet on the other side.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say sound. Yeah. If you guys want to or I'm not sure what we're going to do yet.
Yeah,
Just a tad.
we're not getting anything out of it.
guitar?
The pink one.
Is it labeled?
It's plugged into this pedal set over here.
I don't know about the pedal.
Oh, your guitar's just might not plug in. Go ahead, please.
I have some signal from guitar 1.
Is that the DI?
No, from the box labeled guitar 1 over there.
What box?
I haven't seen anything from guitar 2, so I don't know which one of those is guitar 1 and which one of those is guitar 2.
Well, he's not plugged in at all, so.
Okay, then it must be guitar 1. Guitar 1, make me some more noise. Now mute everything. It's got 44
All right, so
dB of
while
gain.
we're figuring that out,
Why is guitar 1 not coming out? Or the guitar's over there?
While we're
I can't figure out why
figuring
they're not coming out.
no bass sound
That one's
either.
not plugged in.
No bass sound either.
No bass sound either out of the bass mix.
And no bass out here.
What's it plugged into?
I'll go check if you can
Yeah.
get to the guitar.
While we're figuring that out, let me go with this because I'm not sure if people can hear me. All right, while we're fixing this up, so some of you, and most of you, are probably sight reading, yes? If you are a melody player or a chord player, what are you looking for when you sight read? Key, yes. People in the audience can answer as well. Anything else? Form? Yeah. So we conveniently have some letters up there. Like you have your section marker A, the A in the box, and you have your section marker B. So you've got form as well. Anything else?
Time signature.
Time signature, thank you, yeah. So we're gonna be in 4, we're gonna be in concert A minor, and we have a little bit of a strange form. We have like, what is that, a 16 bar A section, and then a 4 bar B section. It's a little lopsided, but that's all right. I believe in you. Chord players, what are you looking for?
Chord symbols.
Chord symbols? What about them?
Chord quality.
Yeah, quality and root. Is there anything for any of my chord players you're like, what's the triangle or what's the...
Yeah, what kind of sound?
Cool, so the triangle means a major 7. So like for example with the F major 7, that's F, A, C, E. Alright, and then if you have just a 7, that's the flat 7 added. So for example with E7, you have E, G sharp, B, D. Alright? Percussionist, what are you looking for?
That BPM up there.
That BPM up there, yes. Very good. Time signature, 100%. Anything else?
General rhythm of the melody.
Ooh, rhythm of the melody. What you gonna do with that? Love it. Love it.
Look for differences in the feel between A and B sections.
Love it. Yes. Thank you. So it sounds like everybody knows their job. All right. We'll take this a little under tempo. Guitars, you guys all set now?
Are you all familiar with the song? Do you want me to play the song?
Yes.
All right.
Well, yeah, we'll play it in a second. I've stalled long enough.
Some classic Sonic action. Marble race, not marble machine, but marble stuff.
Here's B. Alright. I won't make you go. You don't have to hold it.
But that also works.
Alright, I will make you guys go quite that fast. Alright? about there? Let's do twice through and stop.
It's also note for guitarists. You don't have to play the 9. Like if 9 is a scary number, that just says 7 now. That's fine.
Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest, rest. 8. Guitar players and bass players to raise their hands in the audience. People who are on guitar and bass, go tag somebody right now. Tag them in. Yay! If you brought your own guitar, like, if you want to share it, awesome. If you don't want to share it, I get it. Keyboard players, tag somebody. Keyboard players in the audience who want to go up here, raise your hand.
Nobody volunteered.
What? Raise your hands high, let them see you. Any keyboard players who want to tag in? Go tag somebody. Any percussionists who want to tag in? Percussionists, go tag somebody. Percussionists who are out there, go tag somebody in. I wish we had enough instruments to get everybody going like all the time. It's just, number one, that'd be a hot mess. Number two, we should start that. Any other percussionists who want to tag in? Yeah, go ahead. Guys, here's the thing about jamming. Please don't play. Here's the thing about jamming. If you are gonna like be super studious in the audience and like take notes and listen and nod and never play the instruments, like, I love you dearly, I want you in my classroom, but you're never gonna learn how to jam, right? The best way to learn to jam is by jamming. So if you like know all the right moves to make, if you've never practiced it on your instrument and then you go to a jam, it's gonna be terrifying the first time. Get the terror out now with all the other people who are terrified, all right? We are not here to judge you. All right, let's go ahead and, let's see, does anybody need help with making their instrument sound? A little bit?
Plug in, and then I'll unmute you. You just don't want to be plugging into the eye.
And go ahead. Any questions? We're good? We're ready? All right, so horn players, melody players. If you are like, yeah, Jess, I got this. You already made me play it once, and now you're making me play it again, but I already got it the first time, Jess. Here's what you're gonna do. If you know chord tones, I want you to add some long tones behind the melody. If you're like, I'm just barely getting the melody, keep practicing the melody, please. All right, but if you want extra, then I want you to find some chord tones. So that could be the root of every chord, that could be the third, that could be the seventh. All right? Anybody not know what those are? Who wants to try that? Cool. All right. I'll give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 this time. Ready?
It's a major.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So far, haven't gotten to jam on one of these shared instruments but would like to? Fabulous. Come on up and tag somebody out on your preferred instrument. Get on up here. Tag somebody out. It is okay. It is totally fine. Nobody is upset. Everybody wants to jam. Anybody else in the audience who has not yet had a chance to jam who would like to?
I already printed an F sheet.
Okay.
Being proactive. Saw a French horn in the audience. F sheet.
Thank you. Alto sax friend, you want to get on up? All right. So here we go. This will be the last time we go through Marble Zone in particular. All right, twice through just like we did. Again, horn players, I'm not sure I heard people adding long tones, but I was also doing other things. Anybody adding long tones that last time? Sweet. All right. So if you're adding long tones and you're like, I felt good about my long tones, here's your next step. If you're not feeling good about your long tones, practice your long tones. But here's your next step. If you're like, yeah, no, that was great. Can you guys chill on playing for just a second? It's all good. So if you felt good about your long tones, what I would like you to do is find, try and do it in half notes now. Find moving lines in half notes that fit with the chord tones. All right? Cool, here we go. I'll give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. A. Has everybody gotten a chance to go up at least once who wanted to go up? All right, fabulous. So we'll rotate again in just a second, but I want to know real quick what your thoughts were on your jam. Were you like, I was lost the whole time, or I felt like I couldn't tell where the form changed, or no, that felt really good to me. Give me thoughts, please. Positive, negative, anything. Thoughts, yeah.
Oh, I just have something on your side.
Oh no! We can print stuff for you. Can we print a Costa Del Sol for the next one? We'll print stuff for you.
I got lost immediately.
All right. Yeah, it's tough sometimes to keep your place. Yeah, got lost. What else?
Hey Mark, can you print E flat of whatever we're doing next too?
Oh,
so
yeah, I got
can
prints
attempt the chords?
going.
Any other thoughts? That's all the thoughts we have.
I knew where we were, I just hadn't caught up to that yet.
Okay. That's a valid thing. Like by the time you figure out like where your fingers are supposed to go, then all of a sudden like, oh man, now we're somewhere else. Yeah? So what's important in that case is if you know where we are, that's a really, really good thing. So if you can keep your brain like with the band, the fingers will catch up. Yeah, that's a really great point. Other things. Anybody like really proud of themselves and like thought they did well? It is okay to say that. Yes, good job. All right. So this tune we did just to kind of like get the idea of jamming. I wanted people to keep time. I wanted people to keep the form, and I think maybe like 75% of us were there. Maybe. Yeah. Let's have a scale 1 to 5. Did you keep time? Did you keep the form? 5 is like, yeah, I was there like all the time, and 1 is like, I was there like none of the time.
Who needs to be stand? I don't know why I'm holding like this.
All right,
I would like to stand.
all right, cool. Looks like we've got an average about like 3.5, 4 maybe. All right, so that's like around 75%. What we'll do is we will check out Costa Del Sol next. And our goal here is to start a little bit of improv. So how many of you guys were at 8-Bit's practical theory last night?
That's so good.
Yeah, he's awesome. He knows so much. If you want to practice all the concepts he talked about, come to intermediate jams. We're going to talk about one concept here for beginner jams. So if we're looking at Costa del Sol, like you guys said, when you're a chord instrument, you're making sure you're looking at the chord qualities and you know them all. I picked this one in particular because, like, for the entire A section, it's like a vamp, and it's got 2 chord qualities. In the A section, we have a minor 7, and we have a dominant 7, and that's it. We get a little fancy in the B section where we throw some like major 7 chords in, but don't worry too much about it. We can always like chop off the B section if that doesn't feel good to us. If you're a percussion instrument, you are definitely looking at like the different sections of the form, and you're trying to make sure like you know where that form is, and you're trying to think about like, okay, what can I do differently to differentiate the sections? If you're a melody instrument, make sure you're looking at that key signature, make sure you're looking at the time signature, make sure you're looking for weird accidentals in there. All right, let's play the tune again, and while we play it, I would like, if you are on an instrument right now, a shared instrument, I would like you, I would like people to come up and tag people off of the shared instruments while we listen to the tune. Go ahead.
Just playing the song?
Yep. if you can put the presentation back up on one of the screens after. All right. Any questions as we're looking at this? Any chords where we're like, I don't know the fingering for that, I don't know the thing we do for that? Correct, yeah. Other questions? It can be from the audience too. Just because you're not playing right now doesn't mean you might not have questions about what those symbols are. Sound for bass.
How many blue lights you got over there? One or two?
He's got one.
There's a button on the bottom right of the head there. Just hit that and you will suddenly have a lot of bass.
Yeah.
A lot of bass now.
All right. Can we click to the next?
Dash, that's minor?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The dash little minus means minor. The plain old 7 means dominant 7. And the triangle means major 7. We'll play it through. We'll see how we go. If it's overwhelming, we'll cut the beat. Can I go to the next slide?
Again?
So that I get the scales.
Oh, sorry, did that on the wrong.
All right. Don't panic. Don't panic. Let's just play the tune like once, and then we'll talk about what's up there. All right? Well, we'll go like a little bit under tempo. We'll go right about there. How's that? All right, ready? Here we go, beginning. 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go. Pretend like the song ends at that third to last line. All right, like B section does not exist.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Let's do this with science.
With science.
Oh, no, I can't.
All right, Mark's
quite
gonna
do it.
make it.
Doesn't quite. Or does it? Does it?
Yeah, that's good enough. All right, so
no B section.
let's take a look at the screen with all the scales on it. So I wrote out scales for all the different instruments, and I want you to ignore the bottom one for your instrument. Right now, only 2 scales exist on your instrument. Okay, so it's just the first 2. All right, and if you're in the audience, if you can be looking at this too, because we're going to tag out in just a second, and you're going to get a chance to tag in. If you're a percussionist, you might be going like, ha, scales. Who needs them? But it's a good thing for you to know too. Like if you ever like double on a little bit of piano, double on a little bit of mallet percussion. If you ever want to be Doug Perry one day in your life, I want to be Doug Perry. All right, you have to know your scales as well. So you can start thinking about those too. What type of scale? Now this is a question for the theory nerds in the audience. If you're like, yes, I love my theory, but I have a hard time applying it. What type of scale is over those first 2 chords? What mode am I using? Mixolydian, awesome. What does mixolydian mean?
Flat 7. Flat 7.
Flat 7, yeah, it's like a major scale, but you flat the 7. All right? If you want to think of it that way, that's great. If you're like, oh, it's like starting a major scale, but starting on the 5th note, also the same. So for example, like if I look at my C7, my 2nd scale, and my C instrument, it's like I started an F scale, but on the 5th note. So 5th note of F is C, and I play with the key signature of F. If you're like, that's overwhelming, you can think about flatting the 7. All right, what I would like to do is, if you play any kind of melodic instrument, so like piano can be a melodic instrument, guitar can be a melodic instrument, I want you to play these scales right now. All right, so let's do our first scale on the list. So anybody not know which set of scales to be reading for their instrument? You're reading the C instruments. Yeah. All right, if you're not a wind player, you don't need to worry about the others. Everybody else is just reading the C instruments. All right, so let's read the first scale. Let's just do it in quarter notes on your instrument. Ready? 1, 2, quarter notes. Good. Do it again like you're excited about it. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, so for some of us, excited means faster.
I was about to say, based on the tempo, they're now extremely excited about it.
Let's read the second scale real quick. Ready? 1, 2, second scale. Good. Let's do it.
You get G, should be G sharp over there, and then B flat. And B flat instruments are 7 sharp.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a typo.
Well,
Sorry.
we got typo. Sorry, B flat instruments.
Sorry about that.
Trumpet brigade over here, cleaning up. Where's the presentation? What am I doing?
I don't know.
How does this work?
I don't know. So while we're back on the sheet, if you're looking at it, when are you going to use each of those 2 scales? When are you going to use the first one? I'll take hands. I like taking hands. When are you going to use that first scale? Yeah.
On D7?
On D7, yeah. Any other time?
Would it work on the A7 too?
On A minor 7, yeah. You can use that first scale for the entire first 3 lines. Totally fine. All the notes are going to sound pretty good. All right, A minor 7. If you think about your notes in A minor 7, sorry, transposing instruments, I'm speaking in C for a second. If you're looking at A minor 7, that's A, C, E, G. Well, congrats, all those notes are in your D7 scale. All right, no accidentals on any of those. When you get to D7, you might want to emphasize that F sharp, but that's advanced. Don't worry about it. All right, so you can use that scale for the first 3 lines. And then when are you going to use your second scale, please?
G7, G minor 7,
On G minor 7, any other time?
C7.
And C7, beautiful. Yeah, you can use your second scale for the next 3 lines. So you get like 12 bars on one scale, and you get 12 bars on the other scale. So here's where keeping the form comes in. If you can kind of keep your place while playing that, that's awesome. Right? That's what we want. My chordal instruments, when we're jamming, I want you to make sure you're like super locked into the form, because if somebody's soloing and they are getting a little lost because they're, spending a lot of mental energy trying to make stuff up, they want to listen to you, and especially to you, my friend. They want to listen to you, and they want to be able to like lock into where they are. So what I want to do is, if you want to play a shared instrument and you want to tag in, come tag in.
Did we already do that? Have they played since we did that?
No. And who would like to try improvising with these scales? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So I got 5 people. So here's what we'll do while we're working on tagging in. What we'll do is, if you're in the audience and you're like, well, I'm a little bit afraid to like get up there and do stuff, but like I still want to do stuff, you know what you could be doing?
Yes.
With like a fill every 8. Sorry guys. Thank you. You can be doing that with a fill every 8. You can be doing your part out there without anybody actually hearing you, if that's like your thing. So don't worry about it. If you play one of these instruments and you're not playing one of these instruments right now, what I would like you to do is I would like you to think about how those scales go, maybe like 1 note per quarter note, and I want you to try keeping the form while thinking about one of those scale notes per quarter note. All right, so over 2 measures, you get the full scale, right? 8 notes, 8 beats. So I want you to like think about the scale, 1 note every beat. I can use my mic again.
What we'll do up here is we'll do this like a proper jam session, or like a proper jazz kind of jam session. And we'll play through the head once. The head is the tune, as it's written. And then we'll go back to the top. And please raise your hand again if you'd like to try improvising. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, 6, 7. Come on, come on. All right. So we'll do it in that order. So we'll start with guitar and then piano and then go down the horn line of people who want to improvise. And all of you guys will get 1 time through each. And I will help you know when to switch, okay? Bass, you are working on like laying that down. If you want to add a couple like 5-1s or a couple of like chromatic walk-ups. Like if you're like, oh, I'm about to hit a D7, let me just throw in a C sharp right before. That's him. Yeah.
So we're going to play the whole thing down solo, and then play it down solo, play it down. I'm just clarifying.
Great question. We're going to play it down as written. And we're going to keep looping through the form, but every loop is a new solo. And then we'll all come back together to end it. My last solo, flute player on the end, I think you're like at the end of the line. You'll be our last solo, and then we'll play the tune down, okay? All right. I think we have just enough time for this. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, beginning, go.
I am so glad you guys were here. If you didn't get to play, if you're in the audience and you didn't get to play as much as you wanted to, I'm so sorry. We had like a huge turnout, which is awesome, but there are only so many instruments. So the solution is come to more jams. Jam Clinic is open like all the time at this con. It is great. It is also really welcoming. So if you're like a beginner, but you're like, oh, I don't want anybody to really hear me. I don't want to like go tag out somebody on an instrument because they're way better than me at it. It's fine. It's so totally okay to do that. Like nobody's upset about it. Can you go to the next slide?
There's no next slide.
Oh, there was no next slide. So the last thing I want to leave you with is if you, oh, I was like, what's happening? If you want to do this kind of thing, if you want to play this kind of music, you have to listen to the kind of music you want to make. If you are not listening, you cannot speak the language. So please, oh please, find somebody who you really enjoy. Maybe it's Insane in the Rain music. Maybe it's Tournament Arc or Full Combo. Whoever it is that you listen to, make sure you listen to them because that's how you're really going to improve at this. If you liked this, are ready for more, come to Intermediate Jams at 2. If you want to talk, come talk to us. We'll be over here. See you guys.
Okay. In fact,